card as well with Sean Longstaff. Wolves could have won it late on as well with Matt Doherty, but a point apiece. We've described what happened at Arsenal. Liverpool have won it at Anfield, and Manchester United, who'd not won an away game in the Premier League since February, have finally put that to bed with a 3-1 victory at Norwich. So all that means that it's 6 points again for Liverpool to lead Manchester City at 10 games in, and still unbeaten, of course. Just the game at Old Trafford last weekend, the only match they've dropped points in. Only 2 points behind the champions come Leicester and Chelsea, and Arsenal are now 4 back in 5th. And Manchester United have rocketed up to 7th, suddenly 2 points behind Palace. At the bottom, Norwich have missed the opportunity to get out of the drop zone, along with Watford and Southampton in the bottom 3. The point keeps Newcastle out of it, and Everton, who of course lost at Brighton yesterday with more VAR controversy, only 2 points above the drop zone. Spurs, incidentally, have gone into the bottom. Used the word mentality twice there. When was the last time you saw a Liverpool team with such strong character that he says that Jurgen Klopp's played such a big part in? They don't know when they're beaten. You've made that point.
I mean, last year they were good, weren't they? But you probably have to hark back to the times when they were serial league winners, because this is what they're striving for, and this is what they're looking at. You know, 1-0 down at half time. I know Tottenham are not in the top 4, as I said before, but top 4 opposition. And still, you never felt that they were going to lose the game. I know it's a stupid thing to say, but the confidence that we spoke about before the game, that's what it feels, even though they were 1-0 down, because the performance levels in the first half were good enough to suggest that they'd keep on going until they scored. And once they score, you always feel like they'll score again. So they're playing very well. And, I mean, Jordan Henderson is in excellent form now, isn't he? He's morphing into a different player, even though he's late on his career. Fabinho's taken his spot, and now he's playing as a sort of right side of that front 3. And his energy levels up and down that right-hand side of the pitch with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now it's a new string to his bow, even late on in his career.
And he's getting forward, and as I say, hasn't scored at Anfield for almost 4 years. But that position allows him to do what he did for the equaliser.
Yeah, look, I think he's a really underrated player for Liverpool. I know he's their captain, but a lot of work that he does sometimes goes unnoticed. Those types of things there are the rewards almost for kind of the things that do go unnoticed within his game. He works his socks off. He is a genuine leader within the ranks. I think you can see in the games that he doesn't play that when he comes onto the pitch, things lift. And, you know, you can tell that he maintains standards, obviously, within that dressing room, and that when they're on the pitch and they're in those tough moments like they were at times today, that's what they can fall back on to make sure that they get the result that they needed. And they 100% deserved the result today. They were far the better side, and yeah, it was nice to see, obviously, those scenes at the end.
And you can see this bond, captain and manager.
Yeah, you can see that with everybody, to be honest. Jurgen's instilled that in absolutely everybody. You see him mid-game talking to Trent Alexander, right smile from Trent, so he's saying the right things to them with Sadio Mane. But, you know, as I said, I'm associated with Liverpool. I see that on a regular basis. And I think that's why the whole place seems very, very content at the moment, very happy. Everybody seems to be professional, no negative stories coming out of the club whatsoever about anything. And they just do the business on the pitch, and it just keeps on rolling on. Arsenal have dropped points. Tottenham today have dropped points, of course. And Liverpool keep on just building and building and building.
No complaints about the penalty that won it?
No. I just thought it was a real scruffy decision from Aurier. This is poor because he's too quick for him, which is fine. But then he gets himself back in the position, does the hard part, and then just falls asleep. But he's prone to doing that. And unfortunately, until he gets those decisions, those bad decisions, out of his system, but he just kicks the back of his leg. No, does he make contact on the ball? No. Is Mane, puts his leg in front? Yes, he does. But don't go and clear him out from the back. He's pointing the wrong way. Just, refrain from making the challenge and let Mane have the ball and shuffle him away from the goal.
Yeah, look, it's no coincidence the amount of penalties I think Sergio Aurier gives away. I think a lot of it is to do with his mentality and being in the right place at the right time. You know how quick Mane is. You know that if you give him a head start, he's going to get ahead of you. And just that little point there where Mane's really smart. He just puts his leg there like to say, go on, kick me. And Serge did exactly that for him. He just needs to be smarter in those situations. So I think it was a penalty, yeah.
Yeah, he's given 4 penalties away in his Tottenham career. At 1-0, Son hit the woodwork.
Yeah,
these are the fine margins.
They are the fine margins, and it was always something like this. Long ball where down his right-hand side of Liverpool, really, where Lovren and Trent Alexander-Arnold were. And Does everything right there, Son. You know, he was one of the unlucky players, I thought, today. He defended well, he attacked well, he caused Liverpool problems, and like you said, they had really fine margins, and you know, those are the things that sometimes, you know, winning titles kind of hinge on, and Liverpool kind of got the
and he had to lift it, didn't he? He had to, Lovren got back.
Yeah.
So he had to get some height on the ball. Unlucky, wasn't he?
OK, let's get some Liverpool reaction from... He's rightly pleased with today's result and performance, Jurgen Klopp. Aston Villa away next in the Premier League. They've got a League Cup tie at home to Arsenal in the week as well. And aside from these 6, 13 games in 4 different competitions in the next 8 weeks, including a trip to the Middle East for the World Club Cup. Any concern about that calendar?
No, because I think they'll change their side for the Arsenal game, the next game, the League Cup. I think they'll change it considerably. Aston Villa away from home, I think that takes care of itself. It's a league game, it's a priority. Genk at home, what we saw the other day, again, I think he'd be able to make changes if he wants to, or if he's got a few injury worries. The big game on the horizon is Manchester City, and then you've got the international break. So whatever happens after the international break, you know, was a stroke of luck with injuries. But, you know, when I look at those, you know, the main game is the Manchester City game, keeping everybody fit.
If they win that and go 9 clear in November, are they catchable?
Yeah, of course they are, yeah. Everything is reliant on how many people they can keep fit, how many important match-winning players they can keep fit. And I think it was the same in, you know, everybody had these questions in August when Sadio, Mo Salah, Firmino, Alisson all played in tournaments over the summer. And I think it's the same. If you lose, though, if those 3 front players get injured or Van Dijk gets injured, you know, it's a completely different scenario. A 9-point cushion would be brilliant, of course it was, but still, you can't count your chickens. When you look at Manchester City, they've got Laporte, they've got Sane, they've got Zinchenko out, they've had other players out. Liverpool haven't had that patch yet, and hopefully they don't. But Liverpool haven't had that type of test. So yeah, you can't go shouting the odds too early. Certainly in November, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous.
OK, 6 clear.
Puffed your cheeks out as Jurgen Klopp went to hug you at the end. What does that tell us?
A little bit of relief, obviously, hanging on at the end a bit, but delighted with the 3 points, of course. First half, I thought we played really well. Obviously, didn't start well with conceding a goal, but I thought the reaction was brilliant, and we could have had a couple of goals, but the keeper made some great saves. And we just wanted to keep the momentum second half, and we knew that if we did that, we'd find the net. And thankfully we managed to do that, so overall got to be delighted with the 3 points.
Sadio, you've never lost a Premier League game here, but as the chance touching wood, as the chances went by though, first half you had one yourself, did you start to think today was the day?
No, to be honest, they scored first, but I was thinking in my mind we're going to come back because I trust in my team, and I know this kind of game we are here, and yeah, we try to push harder and as a team, and finally we create many chances, and at the end of the day we scored 2 goals. To be honest, I think we deserve to win tonight.
Jordan, it does feel like whenever you face adversity as a group you always react. Why is that?
Mentality. I think that grew over the last few years, you know. The gaffer's changed that so much in us, and I think the mentality's fantastic throughout the squad. You know, whenever we're, like you said, face adversity, at times we bounce back, and we need to carry that right through the season, you know, because you know, it's not going to go all your own way. It's going to be difficult at times like it was today, but it's about going through that, you know, keep pushing each other and always believing, and thankfully we managed to do that today.
Yeah, Jordan Henderson, 44 home Premier League games unbeaten, but they trail by a 0-0 to Spurs. Let's get straight to it, because what a start for your former club.
Yeah, they started well. I mean, I mentioned obviously before the game that they needed a good start. Anfield is that type of place where you got to be right, have your wits about you at the start. And this man, Son, he's been a bit of a thorn in Liverpool's side, but it's a big deflection and just a really good reaction from Harry Kane. You know, he's always in the right place, the right time. Most top strikers are, but it's all about the finish, really. Just kind of guiding it, just making sure that he's an onside position, as you can see, but just controlling it into that corner was big for Spurs. And I have to say that they've hung on really since that moment. Liverpool have been brilliant.
Yeah, 47 seconds into the game. Harry Kane's 6th goal against Liverpool. How have Liverpool not scored, though? How have they not found a way through?
I know Liverpool have been brilliant, haven't they, for 44 minutes and the injury time. And I don't know whether that Tottenham early goal has affected the way Tottenham have played, because you expect Tottenham to have more play and more possession in a normal game, but that first goal has suddenly brought Liverpool to attack more, or maybe throw caution to the wind a little bit more. But the one thing you can say is Gazzaniga in goal has been fantastic, hasn't he? He should have scored, Van Dijk, albeit another good save from the keeper, but he should have scored. But Liverpool have played great at half-time, apart from the first 47 seconds. You can't necessarily complain about how Liverpool have made chances against, a top four, in normal stages, top four opposition. Brilliant save again.
10 attempts they've had, 5 on
So
target.
a really enjoyable game is what you'd fully expect from these two sides.
Yeah, it's been chance after chance. I think Spurs do have to make some form of adjustment though. That onslaught can't continue, or Liverpool will score.
Patience for Liverpool here? Not to get too frustrated?
Yeah, I think so. And not take too many chances just because they're behind. Because there is an area behind Trent Alexander to the right of Dejan Lovren where they could exploit if Trent goes wandering too much. Son and Harry Kane still need to be monitored.
Tottenham in front at Anfield. Fantastic first 45 there. When we come back, we'll bring it to